Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, September 27th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's gonna open in about 7 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, one last thing here. And we are good to go. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Sent out. All right. Looks like we are good to go. So good morning, everybody. Looks like people are still joining in. Today is Friday, September 27th. Happy Friday, everyone. I'm going to start marking up liquidity over here on this chart. Going down to the 8 hour. Going down to the 2 hour. Going down to the 1 hour. Down to the 30 minute. Down to the 15. Down to the 10 minute. Back down to the 1. And it looks like we are good to go. So, all right, guys, I have liquidity marked up here. Closest level of liquidity above is at 42,648, and the closest level below is at 42,621. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, September 27th. Happy Friday, everyone. Market's gonna open up in about 3 minutes. See who's here so far. Morning, Steven. Morning, Maria. Morning, Tyron. Morning, David. Morning, everybody. All right, guys, so let me check to see where the breakout is going to be. I'll put so if you guys are just joining in, I'll put the direction of the breakout in the chat in about 2 minutes, right before market open. Got about a minute. All right, we'll know where the breakout's going to be in about 15 seconds, guys. All right, so if you guys are in the Zoom, I just posted the direction of the breakout. So market's going to open up in about 50 seconds. We got 30 seconds till market open. The volatility here is kind of low. It's like 7 points. So I'm hoping we're gonna have some direction today, but if not, strap in. We're gonna be holding on to this for a while like yesterday. So we got 25 seconds until market opens, guys. We got market opening up in about 10 seconds. Market open in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Market is now open. All right, guys. So
Order filled.
breakout is now running. Go over here and mark it up on this side. So there goes the parameters for the breakout. Let me make sure everything is here properly. All right, everything here is set up. Let me go back real quick. Just kind of identify what the market structure was over here. So Asia range. So we had Asia session range right here. Then we had London session. I mean, London looks like it was just a range too. Yeah, for the most part, it looks like a range. It's like this might hit our stop loss, the breakout. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for either range or reversal. Let's see. New York session, range, or reversal. It's like one or the other. So that's kind of what we're expecting for the day. New York range or reversal. Let me see if there was any news for today. So let's see. So there was news this morning. There was a core PCE price index, which was negative. PCE price index, which was also negative. Personal spending, which was negative. Personal income, which was negative. Retail inventories, which was positive. Goods trades balance, which is positive. And we got some more news over here at 7 o'clock, which is Michigan consumer sentiment. So I'll mark that up over here on our clean chart. Breakout's still running right now. As you guys can see, there's a lot of manipulation in both directions. You can see that the liquidity here got hit and then it came right back down. So if you guys took any of these levels of liquidity right here, it went straight to TP. It looks like William over here actually caught those levels of liquidity. Let's see. Second, let me log into this. All right, so looking at this chart right now, we currently have liquidity right here that got hit. So if you guys took these first levels of liquidity, all three levels right here got hit. So first level right here of liquidity, full TP. Second level of liquidity, full TP. And the third level of liquidity right here, also full TP. So full TPs on all these levels of liquidity. I'm going to clean them up right here so that we have some space. Also, the lower level right here of liquidity got hit as well. So depending on which level of liquidity you wanted to take, there's a bunch of them that got hit right here. So it looks like the spike to the upside right here just came to pretty much fill the new spike from right here. So it basically came over here, wiped out the new spike, and then now it's coming back down. So we have opening price, which is right here at 630. I'll color that blue. We had news over here at 530. Then we have more news coming up over here at 7 o'clock, which is high impact. The market's kind of been doing this all week, guys. It's been kind of annoying how it's been. I mean, it's been in this huge range pretty much all week from Monday up until today. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday was pretty crazy. So if you guys were in the breakout with us yesterday, we were in that range until I think 11 o'clock until it finally came in our direction and hit our full TP. But the breakout's been doing pretty good this week. So for the breakout this week, we have, I think we currently have 3 wins and 1 loss. So the breakout's been doing pretty good this week, even though we're kind of stuck in this like huge range pretty much every day. It's just the market that we're currently in. One thing that I noticed is that when there's heavy news, like for example, today there was heavy news pre-market, there tends to be a lot of crazy movement in the market for the breakout specifically. So from the stats that I took, I pulled more data. So if you guys haven't seen the spreadsheet, I've updated it quite a bit. So the spreadsheet for the breakout, I have pretty much went back all the way until August 2022. So August 2022 up until September 2024. What I've noticed is that the strategy always loses on it mostly loses on high impact news days. So like for example, NFP, it loses almost every NFP. So I'm just not going to take the breakout on NFP day. And then like I was saying before, when we have back-to-back losses, we'll just take a break because that's typically a sign that the market's just not moving in the direction that we needed to. So yeah, if you guys want to pull up the spreadsheet is pretty in depth. I have so much data right here. And I was able to pull up so much stuff from what's available for the most part. All right, we're going to start looking for some market flow V2s around 640. So 636 right now. We got about 4 minutes till 640. And we'll see where this goes. So this looks like it's probably gonna hit our stop loss today. Yeah. So stop loss hit for today, not horrible. But we're still in profit for the week because we had more wins and losses for the breakout. So all right, unfortunately, we're gonna end this week with a loss, but we do have profit for the week overall. So I don't have the full profit. I should have 1,500 points in profit, but let me put this over here real quick. So I'm going to screenshot that real quick, put this over here in our official profits. Unfortunately, it was a loss for today. So here are our stats for the week so far. So the breakout had 3 wins and 2 losses, so we're net positive for the week. I'll take a screenshot of my accounts over here as well to show you. See where we're at. The only problem with my profits is that on Monday, I screwed up. I had my trailing stop set, so I ended up getting out at 50 points versus 100. And then yesterday I pulled out early as well because we held on to that position till 11. So I pulled out slightly before the push to full TP. So I'll post up my profits over here, or my losses actually. My loss for the day and my profits for the week. All right. So here is my loss for the day. Not too bad. 1,300 right there. And then for the profit for the week, I'm still in the green. So you can see over here, I'm red for the day, but I'm green for the week. So we're still closing out this week on a good note. These are net profits. So this is with the fees and commissions, and this is how much I ended up with at the end of the week from taking basically just the breakout. So not a bad week. The breakout from what I've pulled from the data. So looking at the data over here, guys. So from all of the data here from basically 2 years of data from August 2022 up until September. It is at a 65% win rate, I believe. Let me check. That's a pretty good win rate for two years of data. So 59 divided by 93, 63.4% win rate for 2 years. So I'll take that win rate over any win rate, really, for a breakout entry that happens pretty much once a day. And then no entries on NFP. So, all right, we'll keep looking here for the momentum or for the market flow V2s. If you guys are looking to take it, it's about to be 640 pretty soon. So I'm not going to take it because my I don't want to overdo it with my trades for this week. I'm still happy with my profits for the week because I'm in profit. So like I showed you guys over here, I'm still in profit for the week, pretty decent. So for this week so far, I made about 400 times 21. Yeah, I'm in profit about 8,400, which is not bad for having these partials here. I was supposed to be at 1,500. So if I took the full TP yesterday and the full TP on Monday, I would have been at 1,500 for today, which would be 1,500 times 21. I'd be at 31,500, but I'll take 8,400 profit for this week as is. So here is the market flow V2, guys, if anybody's looking to take it. So this here is the bigger move. It's a 60-point move. If you guys want to take this right here, price came down, bounced off the pivot right here. The whole number was right here at the 700 mark. It is now currently active. So if you guys want to take it for the full move, feel free to take it for 60. If you want to take it for 1-to-1, you can take it for 30-30. If you want to take it for the original 10-30, you can use it for 10 and already hit it right there. So we have the big move right here that's currently running, and then I'll be looking for the smaller moves in between. But I'm pretty satisfied with my profits for the week, so I'm not going to overdo it and revenge trade my way into lesser profits for this week. So if you guys want to re-enter this position, again, the entry is going to be right here at the 700 mark. This is where your pending orders would be. The market flow, the original market flow is, or not the original, the bigger market flow is currently running right now. And then if you want to take the smaller market flows in between, the entry would be right here at the 700 mark. So I'm not in this position right here. The market flow is currently running full TP on that 10 points. So you guys can see this one right here, the 10-point move just hit its full TP. Price came down, bounced off the pivot, shot right back up. So there goes one, or the first entry for a regular market flow. The big one's still running. So if you guys are in that big move right there, it's still running. If you guys don't want to take the big move and you want to use it as a confluence, you guys can do that as well. So this can just be used as a confluence if you want to hold on to it. Some people aren't comfortable holding on to the bigger move. So you can just go for either a 1-to-1 or you can go for the smaller moves within. So if you went for a 1-to-1 right here, the 30-30 hit full TP. Again, the bigger move is still running. So if you want to enter again right here, entry is going to be at the 700 still. So you're going to hear same situation. It would have filled the 10 points right there. And then full TP again. So two back-to-back wins right there for the 10 points. So right now at this very moment, the 30-point hit, so that's 30 points. Two of these 10 points hit, so that's 50 points in profit. If you guys want to take it again, the entry again would still be right here at the 700 mark. All right, here are William's profits for the day. William locked in, let's see, 2,000 on his first three accounts, 1,300 on his middle accounts, and 1,500 on his last account down here. Nice work, William. So William locked in some pretty good profit right here. Yeah, there goes William's profits for the day. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 16. About 18,000 for the day. Nice work, William. Solid wins. So there's another win right there that happened right there for the market flow V2 for the 10 points. So again, guys, 30 points hit, another 10 points here. That's another 30 points. So that's 60 points. And then we have the bigger move here, the 60-point move that still hasn't hit TP yet. So looking at this over here, we're going to look for it to pull back. The next entry point is going to be right here at the 710. So right here at the 710, if this fills, you're going to look for it to come down, fill it, come right back up. All right, so another market flow right there is filled. Again, I'm not in these positions right here, guys. I'm just showing you guys the entry. I'm pretty much done trading. I'm done trading on my own personal accounts for the day. Looks like another full TP right there. All right, so price did exactly what you expected. Price came down, filled it, shot up to full TP again right there. So looks like 4 back-to-back smaller TPs already for the 10 points. So again, we still have the bigger 60-point move running right here. The 30-point already hit, so that's 30 points. And then we had 4 of these smaller 10-point moves, which provided a profit of, let's see, about 70 points so far. So if this candle here closes red, there's no more entries. You'd have to wait for another buy signal to come up. All right, so if the sell signal here closes, you can either close out for a partial loss or a small loss, or you can hold on to it if you like. Sell signal didn't close. So the 60-point move is still running right now, guys. 60-point move is still running, and if you guys are looking for some more 10-point moves, you need price to push up above the pivots, come back for retracement, and then come back up higher from there. So it looks like we're still kind of in this rangy market. Price ended up shooting up pretty hard. So this is one thing that I noticed. You guys can see right here where there was a big gap. And this is with regard to the breakout. So like I said, for the breakout, the only days where we usually lose the breakout is when there's high impact news. You can see this huge high impact candle right here from the news at 5:30. Typically, what happens here is price it moves in the direction of news. So you guys can see how this big gap was right here. That's why price went up. And that's just what I've seen from the data that I pulled. So I was kind of expecting this here to be a loss. I was hoping it wouldn't. I was hoping it'd come down a little bit first to hit TP and then come up. But obviously you can see right here, price came up because the big wick right here, and price pretty much pushed in the direction of where news was manipulated, basically to fill this gap right here. So that's the one thing I noticed, and I've only noticed it because I have so much data here. So you can see over here, this is a pretty big sample. It's a sample of 145 trades. So I sampled 145 trades of the breakout. The win-loss ratio here is actually pretty decent. So if you just do every trade without like making any adjustments, it'd be 85 divided by 145 trades. This would be at a 58.6% win rate, which is a pretty good win rate for every trade that's been calculated. This means every breakout with the NFP and with the back-to-back losses. So I do see a couple of questions in the chat. Some of you guys were asking, can't you trade opposite of NFP? You can, but it kind of messes with the back-to-back loss type thing that we have set up. Here, I could even show you. We'll do it right now real quick. So once this sell signal comes up right here, I'll edit the data so that you guys can see what the win rate would be for the breakout if we were to reverse trade NFP. And I'll show you how many losses happen with NFP. So the sell signal here still hasn't came up, guys. So if you're looking for entry here, you can still look for price to swing back up. If the sell signal closes, typically I would close out of this. You just take it for a small loss. If you guys are trading within, you should be fine because there was like about 5 10-point entries. And then if you went for the 30-point, that'd be fine too, because you would have hit your entry right there. That'd be about 80 points in profit so far. So if you guys took all those smaller trades within this move here, the bigger move, you should be in profit regardless. Even if you were to lose this trade here, you should be in profit because there are so many smaller entries that came up within. So price is still climbing up here. I think this is probably going to range here for a bit. So I mean, we'll see where this ends up going. Yeah, so Medusa, if it pretty much always loses, not sure what the data is on those NFP days exactly. So I think there were like 4 losses and like 2 wins. So they kind of balance out to a point where it's better to just not take the trade. But I'll show you the data in a little bit. So let's see. All right, I'm gonna show you guys the data right now. There's no entries for us to take. The sell signal came up, guys. So if you guys want to close out for a small loss on the big move, if you guys are still in it, feel free. That's just about an 18-point loss right there instead of the full 30. So if you guys want to take that, feel free to take that out. Otherwise, I'll come back and take a look at this in a few. So let's go back to the spreadsheet over here. I'm just kind of curious now what the numbers are. So let me go over here and just delete this. Let me just copy this over. So let's see what happens if we reverse trade NFP. So I did a lot of studying yesterday regarding, this stuff, and I was trying to figure out like how do we avoid these losses? And it seems like a lot of these times, so the bad months look like they're August, basically the holidays and summer. So August over here, there's a couple losses, like a stack of losses, and then December a stack of losses because of the holidays, and then for whatever reason, February. But that seems because if you look over here in 2022, a couple losses for August, 2023, a lot of losses for August actually. But then for 2024, there weren't very many losses here for August. It's probably because I don't have enough data for August here. But I didn't really lose as much. So anyways, let's just go over here real quick to basically NFP is going to be the first Friday of each month. So for example, over here, this NFP actually won. So September 2nd, this is NFP. If we're to flip this, or we'll just count the numbers, so you don't have to flip it. So let's count how many wins for NFP. So 1 win for NFP right here. Um, 1 loss for NFP. So that's a break even so far. If you're just counting NFP. Another loss for NFP right here. So that's -1. Another loss for NFP right here. That's -2. Another loss for NFP right here. That's -3. Another loss for NFP right here. That's -4. Another loss right here. NFP. That's -5. Another loss right here for NFP. That's -6. So you guys can see literally every NFP right here, and then one win for NFP right here. That's -5. So basically, you'd have 500 more profit, probably 500 more points if you were to just remove NFP. So these are like the raw stats right here. It's a 2,500 profit over a 2-year period. This isn't every day, so just keep that in mind. There's like a lot of days that are missing because this is all I had data for. But if you were to remove or flip it, so for example, right here, if you were to flip this would be a win. September. December right here, this would be a win. So flipping it does make a difference, which could be the case, but I think I did the data, and the problem with the data is that um, avoiding the losses here kind of got screwed up a little bit. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a few. So I'm going to keep going back. I'm going to pull more data. I have like 2 years of data here. I'm going to try to pull back another 2 more years. And I'm just kind of curious to see like what the data looks like, because that's pretty much how I'm figuring out how to make these changes with the with the um with the strategy here. Yeah, I think I screwed something up here. I think we're good. Second. I might have screwed up the colors, but it's okay. As long as the numbers are fine. March. June. September. Let's go back to the charts real quick. All right, so looking at this over here again so far, guys. So the 60-point move over here, I think all of you guys pulled out for profit already. We now have a buy signal, so I'll start looking for some more entries again right here. We have a buy signal. Now you're looking for price to come down for retracement and fill another market flow V2. It's 6:57 right now, so it's getting closer to 7 o'clock, which is usually my cutoff for the market flow V2s. So let's see. What you're looking for right here is you're looking for price to come down, fill the order, and then come back up. The thing is, we have high impact news right here at 7 o'clock, so I don't think there's any reason for you guys to take any entries here because you're probably gonna get caught in a news spike. So I don't recommend you guys take any entries here. If you guys want to, feel free, but if not, I would just sit out. So let me go over here and update this real quick. The numbers don't look right for some reason. So I don't think I might have screwed this up, but I mean, basically you can see there's a difference in profit potential there if you were to just trade opposite of NFP. So that's something that we can do. But on top of that, I would need to incorporate the skipping of trades. So like I said over here, and I'll have to redo it again, guys. I think I messed up on this, but looking at this here, see how there's like a big losing streak? We can't have a big losing streak like this because if we do, we'll probably blow the account, right? Typically where I try to calculate my losses, I try to set it up where I can have like about 6 back-to-back losses before I blow my account. And you can see over here, there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for this, if I was trading during August 2023, I would have blown my accounts. So there's 2 ways of doing this. You can either take that risk and then be okay with blowing your account, or my preferable way to do it is to just skip trades when it's when you have back-to-back losses, which is ideally what I'm going to be doing because this strategy is going to be used for the hedge fund, of course. So like when I'm trading the hedge fund for this strategy, I can't be blowing accounts, right? Because I'm going to be trading other people's money. So in order for me to prevent that, and I'll show you what I'm going to do in a few. So like right here, you can see there's no entries coming, guys. We have news at 7 o'clock. I just want to remind you guys, there's news right here at 7. It is Michigan's consumer sentiment, which is high impact. I wouldn't recommend trading around this period right here. So back to the spreadsheet. So in order for me to prevent this happening, see where it has 8 back-to-back losses, what I'm going to do here, and from pulling the data, is whenever I have two back-to-back losses, I'm going to stop trading until I have 2 back-to-back wins. So right here, 2 losses from August 24th to August 25. Then we have 2 wins over here from August 29th to August 30. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove that. I'm going to remove these cells. Or here, I'll do the data first. So here's the profits from if you take every single trade. If you take a smaller contract size to take your entries and you can withstand more than 8 back-to-back losses, then you could be perfectly fine. I mean, technically, if you were to take every trade from March over here, because there's like a win streak of like 8 wins. So if you were to take all these wins here and then you get back to this losing streak, you might be okay to withstand the drawdown. But I'm thinking about if you start trading around June. Like say, for example, I have a new client into the hedge fund that starts around June. They only have 3 wins right here, break even day. And then they get to this point, this is going to destroy the account. So these are the profits. So for example, I'm going to be taking 3 contracts, 3 times 5 times 3,500. That's going to be 52,500 these are raw profits without the risk. But like I said, in order for me to prevent this from happening, what I'm going to do is whenever I have 2 losses, I'm going to stop trading until I have 2 back-to-back wins. So instead of continuing to trade here, I basically just delete this data. I'd start back here on the 31st. This is fine because I'm okay with having maybe 2 back-to-back losses or a couple of losses, but nothing where it's like 8 back-to-back losses. That's going to do some damage to my accounts. So right here, we have 2 losses, December 9th and 12th. Then I would pretty much, and this is where it kind of screwed up because you can see over here, we kind of flipped the NFP trade. So instead of it being a win, it became a loss. And this is why I think it kind of screwed with the data. So 2 losses right here. I would come back right here on the 21st. And then right here, another 2 losses. So those 2 losses right there, I would come back on the 3rd. And then you can see there's still a streak here, but it's just a 5 losing streak. So instead of having an 8 losing streak, I'm having a 5 losing streak. So right here, I'd be able to withstand that if it goes into my drawdown because I have 3 back-to-back wins right here, and then I just have 5 back-to-back losses right here. I'd be able to recoup some of that and not blow my account. So we go down a little lower. Right here, we'll return on the 5th. And this is where it's going to save us the most. Like during weeks like this, where there's just a ton of losses, I would just pretty much not trade until we get back to the 5th over here. And 7, 8. So we're having less trades, but we're able to minimize our losses quite a bit. Okay, so you guys can see the stats here. The stats barely changed. So we had about 3,000 point profit. So I basically cut out a lot of the losses right here by avoiding trades when the market wasn't moving in a direction, and we barely changed in profit by 100 points. So you guys can see here, this is how I fine-tune the strategy. I pulled back so much data, and I just figure out what days should we prevent or just stop taking entries. So yeah, this is how much you would take if you were to reverse trade the NFP. But if you were to if you were to if you were to just not take NFP, you would just have like a little less, because I think it was only off by like, I think 3 or 4 trades. So instead of having 2,900 profit, you would have maybe like 2,600 in points. So you do the math for that. 3 times 5 times, we'll say 2,700. This is how much profit would be with this data set right here. So that right there times 20 PA counts, that'd be over close to $1 million in profit. And then, for example, since I'm starting the hedge fund, I'll have like maybe 100 accounts. That's how much profit I plan on making for my clients, about 4 million, 4,000,005. And then I'll take my 50% cut. So my money at the end of the day would be 2 million. So I'd rather go with the less risk. Like, yeah, of course you're gonna get less profit, but you're also gonna have less risk on top of that. So all right, we had one market flow come up right here, but there was news over at 7 o'clock. So let's be a little careful with that there. Let's see, William said if we didn't have the high impact news wick at the BB3 with trend direction would have been so nice. I know there was a BB3 before that, but it was against the trend, and I don't prefer those. Yeah, no, same here, William. Usually when I take the BB3, I like to go in the direction of the trend. So yeah, if you took this one right here, it would have played through perfect. So market open over here at 6:30. There was a buy signal following green candle right there. And this could have been a BB3 for you. But there was a new spike right here. I mean, it would have hit your TP before then, but still, the new spike would have been tricky because you'd have like 2 minutes before it hit news. Gotcha, yeah. So William actually took it for 10 points. All right, guys, if you guys are still looking for some more market flow V2s, I'll keep looking for them here. Your pending order would be sitting right here at depending on how this candle closes, it's either going to sit right here at the 740 mark or the 750 mark. One of the two. We got some more profit over here from Jamie. Jamie locked in 1,088 on her first account and 1,069 on her second account right here. All right, so let's go back to the spreadsheet real quick. So I know there's a lot of dates here missing. Obviously, there's dates missing. I can't pull up those dates, but that just means that there's more profit missing here as well. So you guys can see this is all the data that I can pull from the contracts that we can pull up. Obviously, I mean, if you know a better way to pull more data, let me know so that you can pull it up or I can pull it up. But this is all that we can pull up from the specific contract data. So yeah, there's a lot of dates here that are missing. There's a couple months here where there's like, so let's see, we'll skip between like September, June, July. There's like no July here. So we're missing a good chunk of July. We're missing a good chunk of March, April, May. April, we don't have any April dates here. We don't have any January dates. But that just shows that just signifies that there's going to be more profits here. So you could probably expect maybe like you can probably expect like maybe double this for 2 years. Because there's like a lot of it's like 2 years of data from 2024 up until 2022. And then it's missing a lot of dates. So like September, There's no October. So let me count how many months are missing. So there's no October. There's no January. There's no April. There's no July. There's only a little bit of August. There's not a lot of August. Maybe August. There's no October. Yeah, so October. So that's 6 months. So you think about it. If that's 6 months, then we're probably missing another, like the profit will probably be double. The trades will be double and the profits will be double. So if you think about it, within a 2-year period, I'm just going to do the math here to kind of have an idea. 2,900 times 2. So the profit will actually be 5,800 points. We're just doubling it up because that's how many dates are missing for the most part. So if I was to take a 3 contract per trade times 5,800 points, that's not bad still. It's still 800, sorry, it's 87,000 per account. And then of course, obviously there'd be different parameters there. Obviously at this point, like for example, once you make your money your first year, you're gonna start to increase your contract size, right? So say you're using 3 contracts, and then at some point you make enough money to risk more, right? At that point, you're now risking 5 contracts. So 5 times 5 times 5,800, another 2 years later, you're now making 6 figures. And then say another year passes and you make enough money and you want to risk more, then again, same thing. So like 10 contracts at that point. And then you just keep doubling up. It's like we've said in the past, trading is the long game, right? You're not looking to make a bunch of profit in like 1 day or 2 days. Honestly, whenever I see like these like trading gurus making a ton of money, like making 100K in a day, that stuff is not, it's not realistic. Like if they were that good, they would be money managers. And that's like what I'm doing, right? I'm looking for consistency in the market. So like a lot of these traders that are on YouTube and stuff, take a lot of their trades with a grain of salt, guys, honestly, because if they were that good, like realistically, if they were that good, they would start a hedge fund. Like it just makes no sense. Why would they start a hedge fund? They want to trade their own money, but they could start a hedge fund. They can trade for other people and they take a percentage of their money. So that's what I'm doing, right? I'm finding consistency in like a strategy where I can have a decent win rate and I can make everybody money. So basically, the more money I make everybody else, the more money I get because I'll take a percentage of everybody's profits. So you gotta be realistic, guys. A lot of like I know that the numbers here don't seem like super huge, but these numbers are real numbers, like they're realistic. So just keep that in mind. Because I already know we're gonna have some comments where people are like, "Oh, you're only making 87,000 for the year. Like, it's not even worth it." But you got to think about it. It's worth it if you start to scale. So at scale, you're gonna start at like making 6 figures, and you're gonna start making above 6 figures, and then you're gonna keep doubling it up, right? Once you're taking like bigger contracts, or once you're trading multiple accounts, like say 20 contracts at 5,800, then you're going to make like half a mil, right? You're going to gradually get better at making more and more profit, but you're making consistent profit. It's not like one day you're making a bunch and then you're losing a bunch. It's like every day you're making slight increases. Because if you do the math here, like realistically, if you started, so the way that I was doing the math is in a year, basically someone's going to start with 10,000. By next year, by the end of the year, they're probably going to be up, another 10,000, right? So you multiply or you do that by percentages, they'll be up like about 100%. If you can be consistently above 100% every year, then you can grow the account like crazy. So the win rate for the strategy that we looked at, I think it was about 63%, right? So 63% minus 50, it's about a 13% gain per year. That's a pretty good gain, a consistent gain that you can do every year. So you think about that, you make 13% of your profit every year, and then it just keeps compounding. It's a lot of profit long term. If you guys do the math behind like your profitability, you can make a lot of profit long term. Like this breakout strategy is not going to make you rich right away. but it's gonna make you a lot of money in the long term, of course. Because I have the data here, like I have 2 years of data. So if if this data over here continues to repeat itself, like say from 2022 up until 2024, imagine once we get to like 2030, 2040, and you're just consistently making like 13 to 20% profit a year. It's going to compound. So, and if you guys are doing, so here's the bigger thing. So I was doing so if you decide not to participate in the hedge fund and you want to just trade on your own, like here on the live session, like say for example you're doing Apex, right? So you're doing Apex and then you're doing what I said, the minimal contract, 3 times 5 times 2,800 or 5,800 points in profit, right? So this is in 2 years. This is how much profit you would technically make in about 2 years. And then you multiply that by 20, because you have 20 Apex accounts, you make a 1.74 mil. So obviously you make more money trading on your own if you were to do like 20 Apex accounts versus trading or having me trade for the hedge fund. Because the hedge fund, you're gonna be trading your own personal money. So you don't have like hundreds of $1,000s sitting around, of course. Unless you do. If you have that much money, of course, you're gonna make a lot of profit. In that situation, you'd be taking bigger contract sizes. So, all right, guys, there's no other entries here right now. Again, if you guys want to take a market flow V2, we're currently pushing up right here. So what you're looking for is a retracement back down and a continuation back up. You're looking for a pattern like this for price to keep climbing up and up and up. Nice. Kevin over here actually took a triple confluence. So nice work right there, Kevin, taking that triple. I don't know if anybody else here caught that, but that was a pretty smooth entry right there. This buy signal broken close past the higher high. And that'd be the entry right there. So if you guys are just taking the scalps, there's a lot of entries that came up today. So I think there was about like, I think there was like 6 market flow V2s for 10 points that hit. So that's about 60 points in profit. So if you guys took that plus the triple confluence, plus the breakout V3 continuation right here, plus the 30-point market flow V2 earlier, that'd be close to 100 points. So if I took all those trades, I would already recoup my loss from the breakout, but it's okay. Like I said, I'm going to stick to the breakout for right now because I think that's going to be the key for my long-term longevity with just trading in general and trading for the hedge fund. I just got to stick to it because from the data, it's profitable, of course. So that's what's going to be my main focus for our trading moving forward. But and let me just update the data over here real quick. So today was a loss. So I'm just going to keep updating the data here as we take the breakout. So today's trade was a sell, was a loss. There we go. So every day when we take the breakout, I'm going to keep updating the data here. So we have every single day of data. And then once we have that data, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at, I'm going to make adjustments to see what changes we need to make. I'll put some notes here. So pre-market high impact news. Opposite. All right, and I'll put notes like that when they come up. Market range, all session, EP hit at 11 a.m. So yeah, if you guys ever want to see my data, I do all this stuff publicly. So all of the data that I'm pulling right here, it's going to be under momentum breakout one-to-one stats. So if you guys are ever curious to take a look. All right, so if you guys are looking for a market flow V2, entry is going to happen right here at the 810 mark. I personally wouldn't really take any trades around here because the volatility is so low. This is why I stopped trading after 7 o'clock, because you can see how price here is going sideways. But if you guys want to take it, it's still available right there. Yeah, Kenny said if you want to be wealthy, then expect at least 10 years of consistent hard work. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I'm doing right now too. So like with the breakout, that's why I'm pulling all this data. I'm trying to go farther and farther back to see what other adjustments I can make. But for the most part, it looks like, if we just cut out NFP or if we trade opposite NFP, um, I'm gonna have to do some more data pulling. So I'm gonna try to add like another 2 more years to the data set right here. And then I'll see what happens with the NFP, because next week is NFP. So that's gonna be our game time decision, basically, whether we decide to reverse the trade or just not take it at all. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the statistics, and I'm gonna create a model for both. So I'm gonna see what the model is like with reversing the NFP, and then I'm gonna see what the model is like with just not taking the NFP. And I'm gonna see what the differences is, because if it's not a big difference, then I'm just gonna skip NFP. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole where you're trying to like claw for like an extra couple wins. It's just not worth it. It's better to just not trade during those periods. So I'll create a model for that. I'll create 3 models. So I'll create a model with no NFP. I'll create a model for reverse NFP. I'll create a model for reverse NFP plus skipped trades, and then another model for no NFP and then reverse trade. So 4 different models, basically. I'll create 4 different models to just mimic what we could expect in those circumstances. If you decide to take trades during NFP, if you decide to opposite or do the opposite. And then whichever model has the most profit and the higher win rate, I'll go with that one, of course. It's a lot of testing. It's a lot of testing, but it's starting to pay off, guys. So like literally I've been glued to my screen for like the past 2 weeks. I've just been testing the breakout, looking for different things to adjust to it, figuring out like where problems happen. It seems like the only days where the breakout doesn't work out is where we have these high impact news events pre-market. So that might be another thing. If there's a high impact news event pre-market, maybe that's just the day to skip the trade as well. I was tempted to skip the trade today because I had a feeling something like this was going to happen. But the problem with this here is that there's high impact news almost every day. So we can't just skip the trade every single day, right? It just won't work out that way. So yeah, we'll see. I think the only high impact news that I can tell that really screws up the market is really NFP. But then again, you have days like this where it's a smaller high impact news event, but it still screws up the market. All right. Yeah. So what I found from the data is that the strategy works well during normal market conditions. The only time the strategy doesn't work well is when there's manipulation, also known as when there's high impact news either early in the session or like right pre-market. That's usually what screws up all trades, really. It's not just the breakout, but it screws up all trades. Like for example, Williams' rendition over here of the breakout, right? His breakout would have played out perfect, but because the news right here at 7 o'clock, it would have spiked down before spiking back up. All right, William, we'll see you back here on Monday. Have a good weekend. So, all right, guys, if there's any more questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I'll keep looking for some more opportunities over here. It's not looking like we're going to get much. There's a slow climb to the upside right now, but it's not really moving to smoothly enough where we're going to get some market flow V2. So again, if you're looking for a market flow V2, I personally don't trade after 7 o'clock because the volatility here gets very low. But if you are looking for entry, look for price to push up, retrace, and come back up higher. Entry right now is going to be at the 840 mark. So with today's loss, guys, Monday's trade is going to be very important because if Monday's a loss, then we're going to take I'm going to take a break from entering any trades on my personal accounts. And I'll be back once the market allows for it. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see when that happens. Hoping Monday's going to be a good day. One thing that I was like, so there's another model that I'm trying to put together too. I'm trying to figure out what days the losses happen on. If it's like the same day, usually, then I'll just not trade that day. There's just a lot of different models here that I can kind of work with. So I'm just looking over here at the regular chart. Looks like Mondays are usually winning days for the most part. But I don't think there's any specific day. It's usually just Friday, because that's NFP. But all right, so price here is still going back and forth. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I will keep looking for some more opportunities over here. If you guys are just joining, there's a couple entries that came up today. The breakout unfortunately lost for the day, but the market flow V2 played through for the 30-30. Then we had about 4 or 5 back-to-back market flow V2s for the 10 points. So if you were to take every entry, then you would have made it back into profit for the day. I'm at loss for the day, but I'm in profit for the week, so I'm cool. Not looking to take anything here to dig a deeper hole for myself. Yeah, exactly. CJ said, "Wow, the market is really not coming back down." Daniel said, "I guess we're pushing to the moon today." Yeah. So this is another reason why I would be careful with taking any market flows. I don't like when the market's like this where there's no retracement. I like when price pushes up, retrace, push up higher, retrace, push higher, right? I don't like when it's pushing super high like this because you're just one candle away from it being manipulated, right? Because you got to think about it. A lot of people here are chasing the buys. So you're like one candle away from it spiking all the way down. It's tricky. All right, so price is starting to retrace back a little bit. All right, so the volatility here is pretty low, as you guys can see. Again, this is another reminder of why I don't trade after 7 o'clock. I was hoping the market would pick up now that we're in the fall season, but it's not really up yet. So it might take a couple more weeks for the market here to actually be more volatile during the the market after 7. But I mean, for the most part, each candle here is very small. Small 10-point candles like that. So, all right, guys, if there's any more questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, it's looking like we're probably going to wrap this up in a few. There's just nothing for us here to take. There's nothing for us here to look at. Yeah, there's just no reason to force any trades here. So again, here are my profits for the week, guys. So unfortunately, I took a loss today for the breakout. It wasn't a huge loss. It was just 1,300. So slight loss right there. But my profits for the week here are still good. So I made about, I'll just estimate it 400 times 21. So I made a profit of 8,400 for this week so far. All I took was a breakout. So I think this is pretty good for like a one strategy a day type thing. Um, Profits are fine. So these are my overall profits for the week. Wasn't a lot, but I wasn't really expecting much. Like I said, for the breakout is a 63 or 64% win rate strategy. So like this week wasn't really, we didn't have a win streak. We basically had one net win. We had we had four wins and or sorry, we had three wins and two losses. So the stats for this week were actually pretty good for a breakout type entry. Three wins, two losses. So it came out to a net one win for the week. So my profit was supposed to be a little bit higher, but the problem was that on Monday, so here are my profits for the day or for the week. So let's start off with September 23rd. So we started off over here on Monday, September 23rd. These are the profits I locked in. I was supposed to lock in 1,500. So you can see over here, there's one account that locked in 1,400, but everything else was less. I closed out early here because I accidentally set a trailing stop. This was the first time we took the momentum breakout. So I got out at 50 points. I was supposed to hold on to it. It ended up hitting full TP. So that's where I screwed up. I screwed up on Monday because it ended up hitting full TP right here. And I only got partial profit. So this is what kind of messed me up here because I was already at partial at the start of the week. So if I was at 1,500 right here, I'd have 1,500 profit today, right now, right? With weekly profits. So Monday was a win. Then Tuesday was also a win right here. And that's where the profits here started to stack up. So you can see over here, profits started to stack up. I made 1,700 on that trade. My profit for the week right there was 2,597. And then on Wednesday, we took a loss. It happens, it's part of the breakout. And then I took a loss right there. So my profits went down slightly. And then on the 26th, yesterday, it ended up hitting right there. The problem here is that I screwed up again because I wasn't at my computer. This entry hit at like 11 o'clock. I was at the gym actually. I kept looking at my phone all throughout the session trying to see if this would swing back up. And then it did swing back up, but I got out right here. So I got out at 50 points again. So instead of locking in 1,500, I locked in 870. So I was now at like 1,882 at this point, right? Then today we took a loss, unfortunately, and then that's where it ate into my profit. So if I was to hold the trade yesterday to full TP and the trade on Monday to full TP, my profit right now should be above, it should be about like 1,600 to 1,700 in profit. So 1,700. This should be 1,700 in profit times 21. That's my screw up, right? So this is where the profit should be for today. But because I screwed up, I'm at 8,400. So it's all good. It's all a learning experience for all of us here. We're still trying to get this stuff down. So there was a market flow that came up right here, guys, at the 880 mark. If you guys want to take another one, be right here again at the 880 mark. But all right. So if there's any more questions, guys, feel free to hop into the chat. Looks like majority of you guys here are calling it a day. There's just not much here to look at. Again, so my main focus for my account, so for my own personal accounts and my Apex accounts, I'm mainly going to focus on taking the breakout entry, guys. The problem with the breakout and taking other entries is because, so for example, yesterday, right? Yesterday is a really good example. So yesterday, the breakout happened at 6:30. We had the entry running from 6:30 up until 11 o'clock. Because this entry runs all day sometimes, I wasn't able to take the market flow V2s in between. So on some days where I'm able to take it, I will take it, but on most days, I'm not going to take it. So my main focus is really going to be the breakout for my personal accounts. And then if there's some way that I can figure out to trade, the regular scalps throughout the session, then I'll probably do that. But for the most part, I'm probably just going to I'm probably just going to be trading the breakout for the most part because I can't stack the positions unfortunately with Apex. I can't take one position and then while that position's running, I can't stack another one because it'll trigger the DCA criteria. And I don't want to do that, of course. I don't want to be on the bad side of Apex. But yeah, overall, this week was pretty good, guys. So if there's any more questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat right now. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon. There's no reason to be looking for any trades here. As you guys can see, price isn't really doing much. I'll go over here and markup structure. There's just not much movement here. The market's pretty flat. There's no need to like force any trades here. You can see there's nothing going on here. Here's a clean chart. You can see price is literally snail moving sideways right here. All right. So I think I'm going to wrap it up, guys. We had a great week for, what is this, September week 4, I think. So for September week 4, we had, let's see, we had 3 wins for the breakout, 2 losses for the breakout. And then I think we had a couple market flow V2s on the 25th. So the last time I took market flow V2s was on the 25th right here. And then the one on Monday, which was right here. So I was only able to take market flow V2s twice this week because obviously the breakout kind of took up my position for the whole day. But the market flow V2s did hit. I didn't count the one from today because I didn't take it. I'm only counting the trades that I'm taking here, of course, during the live session. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and I will be back here on Monday for market open. So, all right, guys, I'll catch you guys back here on